Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, sizes, proclivities, and styles. In the interest in upgrading all of my gear, as you know, we've chosen to go with Meinl equipment. I have a clamp. I got clamps. Oh, so these clamps are to replace my 30-year-old original LP clamps. And you guys, if you're old enough as a drummer, you know what I'm talking about. I still have them bad boys on something, so, and they still work, by the way. So we have a lot to live up to. And I'm wondering about the gooseneck action. I'm wondering about as opposed to a straight bar. So we're gonna see what we got when we pull this out and try to apply it to our brand new shiny Diego Gales here. So let's see what we have. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a trace. Would help if I actually use the blade of the knife. You know, I sometimes forget how to human, guys. It's okay. I'm only mostly retarded. It'll be fine. And oh wow, the packaging is definitely top notch. There is work being done here, I promise you. This is not bargain basement. This did not come from the packaging did not come from the dollar store. They did not want you in unless you were meant to be in. You always have to wonder how much of this stuff you have to destroy before you can get anything out of it. And I guess I just found my answer. Okay. Wow, this thing is meaty. It's if you threw this at somebody, you wouldn't be friends anymore. That's no. This thing is dense. It's got its own specific gravity. Whoa. That thing is serious. That is a chunk of metal. That is not playing around. There's no instructions. Off to the side. Okay, so I've moved this already, and it seems to stay, for now, it seems to stay where it's intended to go. And I guess at any given point, this could be replaced by a straight bar. So, you know, even if you have an old straight bar, you know, you could run it through this hole, because if you take focus on the mechanism, it's really just a pressure clamp. It's pulling as a hook, it's pulling down. So all you need to do is make that hole, and you can run your apparatus through it there, and then it just seems to be a matter of twists and turns until said apparatus releases. And it actually has very high quality teeth, just like a cymbal stand, or like a high grade cymbal stand that you're used to, and those teeth will bite down. So if I at this point run, if I'm capable of, I'm coordinated enough to run this hook through. It's harder than it looks to be. I have to pull the hook in. Well, I assume you're only going to have to do this once, so they make it so it will not modify. Makes sense. Okay, so I've run the bar in, so now it's in. And if I want it to stabilize, I'm just going to turn until the teeth bite down, but I should probably turn the right way. It has a very decent butterfly nut. Has some decent mouse ears up here. And it's coated with a very durable rubber or plastic. It's either a very hard rubber or a soft plastic. I can't really, it's somewhere right in the middle. And it's very functional. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit, and oh yeah, you can feel those teeth that bite down when I try to make any sort of adjustment. And here it has a threading for a mic clamp, which is kind of useful since I'm going to clamp a mic to something. And the adjustment on the other side is a relatively simple design, and simplicity favors success. in this case, especially in these clamps and things. So we definitely want to, when we're adjusting to lock it into our drum, wait, is this the top or the bottom? I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think this might be the, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to try this more than once. No matter how smart you are, you're only as good as your experience. So this seems to be able to open quite wide, actually. There's quite a bit of a gap in here. And at some point I can clamp here. Okay. It's a bit more complicated than I thought it would be. Okay. I think I have sussed it out. So as we reduce that distance, that clamp. Now we have our hardware. It seems like a reasonable amount of space. It does not seem like it will damage the rim because it's just a gentle slope here. And it bites pretty decently. It's not, I could rip this off with my hand if I wanted to, but why would you? And at this point, it seems to have a secondary mechanism that pushes through once the clamp is all the way down. You can see inside that there's a little knob that comes up in, and there are several holes. There's at least 2 holes here. I saw 2, there may be more, to make adjustments for different size rims apparently, and different shape of rims maybe, which will keep this slope in between the rim itself and the outside of the rawhide. So, or the skin, whatever you want to call it. And so now you can just adjust your mic according to where you need it. You know, and I'm sure you could probably also adjust this to fit on the side of your lug, if that's a thing you want to do. And there's also an additional possibility that you could figure out a way to put it on your handle here. But it seems like it's not going anywhere from the play. It's not going anywhere. So there you have it, the Meinl clamps. It's, you know, it's very simple, but it's a great, sturdy, and I'm telling you, this thing it's very well powder coated. It's going to last quite some time. So good on you, Meinl, once again for having a decent product. All right, guys.